All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to an Ox Billiards stream. My name is Zach Ross. Tonight we have a 10-ball match between Michal Rybak and Francis Cho. Looks like Francis won the lag here, so she'll be breaking first. This is a race to 9. They are playing a winner break format, rack your own, early 10-ball counts, and 10-ball on the snap also counts. Should be a pretty great match. Both players are pretty close in Fargo, just 10 points off. All right, so Francis here to break off rack number 1. Hey, Evo Sports in the chat saying go Francis. Let us know who you are rooting for. So dry break here. Michal has a pretty good layout here. You can either try to come between the 2-3 for that 2 in the upper right corner, or kind of just drag draw down the rail a little bit here. Yeah, either came a little too long or a little too short on that one. Kind of fell in between. Hey, Justin, you're funny. No, you can have as many biases as you want, man. That's fine. All right, so hit that one a little thick, but fortunately for him, pretty decent coverage here. Nice contact. Almost a pretty good hide, but fortunately the cue ball did find that little window there. So Michal has an opportunity here to get the rack rolling. 2 ball on the side. Roll that up to the top rail. Struck it pretty hard. Wouldn't have had that great of a leave on the 3, so maybe just trying to feel the rack out here in the first go. So Francis calling the top left corner. Gonna have to do a 1 rail kick here. Made contact but caught it thin. Pretty decent outcome. Now Michal might be able to use the 7 ball to go off of, have that 2 in the left side pocket. Should be a pretty decent choice. Cue ball would end up on the other side of that 3. Yeah, nice touch there. He's actually able to hold the cue a little more than I thought. May opt for a bank here. I don't think he called anything, so maybe playing safe. Yeah, just trying to hide it behind the cluster, but unfortunately also found that little window between the 6-7. I think Francis has a pretty good safe opportunity here. Came out a little much. All right, so Michal calling the bank here. Cue ball should be rolling towards that 6-8. Unless he stop shots it. What a shot that was. Nice job. Looks like the 4 does pass the 5 going up rail. So be taking that on. Then depending what kind of shape he ends up getting for that 6. Looks like the 6 does go by the 8 in the lower left corner. Ooh. It's going to be a little touchy now. I was going to say the 6-10 combo was in play, but no longer with that bump off the 7. So I think I would play this with forward, just so you go 2 rails. Side rail there and then the short rail at the top. Just to get position back down middle table. Gonna let it stroke out here a bit. I decided to draw back. Oh, okay. Nice. Was able to find that even tinier window here between the 7-8 on that 6, so it's a good leave. Justin asked if they're playing early 10. Yes, they are playing early 10. And they're actually playing 10 on the snap as well. Pretty good lead for the 7. Unfortunately, that 6 just caught the edge of that point there. All right, so I think Francis cuts this into the top left corner. Goes 2 rails to kind of slow the cue ball down. Wow, pretty good speed. Got a pretty good leave on that 7. I think Michal may be able to see the 6. I think he might have to just jump. Now he looks like he can swerve around it just a bit. Nice touch. Yeah, overran it just a little bit. Playing it safe, but left another little window here. Looks like both players are leaving tiny windows to the lower end of the table. I think Francis just kicks us out 2 rails. Oh no, okay. Played into the pack. Yeah, I thought maybe she would send that 7 up 2 rails and kind of leave the cue ball down here. but maybe didn't have enough of the side of the 7 to do that. So Michal's going to go all the way up, top left. Nice shot. All right, so I think you can just roll this one forward just a little bit. Have that 9 in the side pocket. Unless he wants to draw back and have the 9 in the lower right, but I think this is the better shot. That way he can just go back and forth. Doesn't need to play too careful here. He can actually have the cue ball just go back and forth. So, or if he wants to, just kind of roll that up. Player choice really here. 2 rails around. Nice shot. All right, so rack 1 going to Michal. Thank you all for joining me this evening for this match between Michal Rybak and Francis Cho. It is a race to 9 and 10 ball. Both of these players only apart by 10 Fargo rate. They are playing winner break and rack your own. 10 ball on the break counts, as well as the early 10. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And if you want to guess the final score, let me know in the chat what you think this final will be. Colossal break here from Michal. Ooh, and a nice little friendly kiss off of that 4, so the 2 in the side and 6 in the lower right. This layout's looking pretty good. Does have to navigate a couple windows between 10-5 and maybe even flirt with that side pocket just a bit to get some look on the 3. All right, one guess in the chat so far. Cho to win 9-6. I think he was trying to be a little too careful with that. Got the leave he wanted. Almost got the 1 rail out. Okay, so even though she missed, not giving up a pocket here. Suspect Michal will look for a safety. Maybe send the 1 between the 4, 7 and bring this cue ball down below the 8. Or alternatively send the 1 down towards the 8. All right, pretty decent outcome. Not quite sure she can see it, but, you know, camera is a little deceiving. Now she is going to have to go 1 rail first. Ooh, caught it on the bottom. That was a good hit. Yeah, pretty good outcome. This will be a pretty good save if we can get behind the 9, which he did. Nice job. So France is going to have to kick. She might be swinging 2 rails around. Yeah, just swung a tad too wide. Bumping the 3 and the 4. So ball in hand for Michal. They are playing 3 foul rule. He wants to leave the cue ball pretty straight on the 3 just so he can draw out and have the 4 in the side pocket. Left a touch of an angle here, but that should be fine. Caught the jaws. Got the position, but unfortunately... So the 3 does go here in the corner. Just going to roll this 4 to the top rail and send the cue right behind the 9. Didn't quite get there, unfortunately. So opportunity for Michal now after the mistake on the 3. Looks like he's going to draw this out 2 rails. Just above the 9. Go 5 in the same pocket. Still pretty early in the match. Both players getting a little acclimated here at the table. Way to come around that 9. Fell into the line in the 7. Pretty nice here. Just follow this up and leave the cue on the left side of the table for the 8 in the lower right. Alright, this is looking like a pretty good 1, 2, 3 here. Or 8, 9, 10 if you will. Alright, Leaf in the chat betting 1 hot dog. Does anybody want to raise it to 2 hot dogs? Got a 2-dog bet. Yeah, I mean, what kind of hot dog are we talking? Like a gold leaf wrapped one? Didn't quite come around for the position needed, but she can cut this into the side pocket. Alright, Francis tying this match up. Taking advantage of Michal's mistake. Got ourselves a 1-1 game. Global weather's betting 10 dogs. Whew. Hope whoever the winner of this bet is gonna be hungry. Let me know where you all are tuning in from this evening. We are live here in Seattle, Washington at Ox Billiards. If you are not familiar with this club, they have 8 9-foot Rasson tables, felted with Andy Premier cloth. They also have 4 snooker tables and a Hey Joy Chinese 8-ball table. That particular table plays like a hybrid between a snooker and a pool table. And since this is Wednesday, it is members only today. So if you have a membership, or if you want to acquire one, go ahead and hit up Mike at oxbilliards.com. You do get 24-hour access to the club, 7 days a week. It's a really great value for the equipment you get to play on. So a really great break here from Francis. She's going to play a roll-up safety here, almost gluing that cue ball to the 2. Really great job. She did leave the kick on the right side, but still not a gimme. Okay, UK in the house. Thank you for waking up, starting your day with some pool. Got Capitol Hill in the house. It's also where we are located. Oh, nice contact. Unfortunately, Jaws just kind of caught it a little bit there. So I think Francis can hit this thin on the left side of the 1. Just kind of roll back up past that 9 and have the 2 in the side pocket. I decided to come out this way. That's totally fine. 2 does go on the side or up table if she chooses. Just kind of looking at the angle she wants for the 4. Looks like it does cut fairly steep into that side pocket, so. But I imagine she'll just follow this up. Oh yeah, wanted to follow it up so she had the 4 in the lower right, but unfortunately, side pocket rattle, shot the 2 ball out. Pretty touchy cut here, but I don't really think there's a risk of, if you miss here, you're not really giving up anything, unless of course the 2 just kind of sits in the pocket. Yeah, so that's not the worst outcome. All right, so France is just going to kick it here. Called that side pocket. Really good attempt. Fortunately here the layout is pretty open now, so if Michal can buckle down and get some pretty good positions on the 4 and the 5, I think this is his rack. The old rattle and cross pocket make, so it is going to be Francis's option here. I think if I'm her, I definitely just take it on, whether or not I go for the pot. Might not go for the pot, actually, and just kind of send that 4 to the lower bottom here. Okay, reverse bank. What a shot. Oh, no. The unfriendly bump on the 9. Seems like she's probably going to go airborne on this one. It's a pretty long jump, but you can kind of almost ride the rail here. Hey, golden fleece in the house, golden fleece up in Everett. Whoa. That ball just rocketed off the table. She really got a hold of that one. So, yeah, it's going to be ball in hand for Michal. I think I just like maybe drawing back off of the 6 and bringing the Q parallel to the 9, send the 9 in the lower left corner, then kind of draw off that 9 just a tad and have the 10 in the lower right. But different preferences. Looks like he might actually be taking the 9 on the side. I think he kind of has to now, just so he will get the right angle on the 10 for the lower right. Oh no, jaw. So after the 5-ball jump mishap from Francis, she's back at the table and possibly taking this rack, so it's never over until it is the last ball drops. Just gonna get a pretty good roll here. All right, so Michal not able to capitalize on the jump mistake. Francis taking it back. Now up 2-1. If y'all missed the match last week between Angelo Elegino and James Borja, go ahead and check that out. It was a mid to 400 Fargo rated match and pretty neck and neck the whole time. Pretty exciting match. You can find that on our Ox Billiards YouTube channel, along with some other live streams we've done lately. It's also the Seattle 9-Ball Open that we hosted in September. Had some pros come through. Lots of great matches on the channel. All right, really good break here from Frances. She may... Oh, bless you. She may be able to overcut this one in the side pocket, but let's go and take a look at the other camera here. Oh yeah, that definitely overcuts. Just want to be a little cautious about that cue ball going into the lower right corner, but I think she plays it with high left. Should be okay. Nice shot. Avoided bumping the 2. 2 goes by into the lower right corner. So I imagine she'll kind of just stun out here. So she has a look on the 3 in the upper left. Friendly bump? Yeah, friendly bump. So this is interesting. She could possibly play the 7. Yeah, playing the 7. I like this. Pretty much guaranteed to make the 7 here, and you send that 3 a lot closer to that corner pocket. Ends up making it anyway, so that's not a problem. 4 is wide open. Tricky part here is going to be navigating around the 10. She's going to want to go 2 rails to get back up table. But needs to kind of swing this cue ball a little wide just to make sure she gets around that 10. Found the window between the 2. Whoa. What a shot. Alright, so I think she's going to roll this down to the rail and come back out. Nice shot. Draw this one straight back. Almost into the same position it's at now. You're just a hair higher. Almost overdrew it. It's okay. Back cut in play. And Frances with the break and run. Up 3-1 now. Let me know in the chat how many break and runs you think will occur during this match. Got 1 in the books. With a potential 6 more racks here. Minimum 6 more racks. For those of you just joining us, they are playing 10-ball, race to 9. Early 10 counts. 10-ball on the snap also counts. They are playing 3-foul rule. My name is Zach Ross. Thank you all for joining me this evening or morning, as one of our viewers is in the UK. Or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for spending your time with us. Well, that was shaping up to be a pretty good break until that cue ball wandered up to the top left corner. Decided to spoil the fun. But after a break and run, a scratch on the break is kind of the pool gods stepping in. All right, Kyle saying 2 more break and runs, so that'd be a total of 3 for the match. We shall certainly see. Alright, so Michal just going to roll this one forward. find the edge of the 2 that he needs to go in the lower left corner. Maybe even bump that 10 just a tad. Yeah, found the good side of it. It's going to be a little steep of a cut, but not a problem. You actually just bring the cue ball out towards that right side pocket and have the 4 in the lower left corner. Nice touch. Don't get too close to the rail. Yeah, he's pretty good. A little bit of a stun roll shot here. You know, you kind of act like you're stunning it, but you do roll the cue ball a little bit forward. Oh, he caught the jaw again. Same pocket as that 2 a couple racks ago. So maybe just overthinking position slightly. Maybe that pocket just has his number at the moment. Nonetheless, Francis is back at the table after the scratch. Got pretty decent action off that 4. All right, pretty straightforward position play here. Navigated it nicely. She can stop shot this or roll it a little bit forward. Player's choice. I like this option better just so you let your stroke out. Don't have to be too careful. All right, gonna swing this one around 2 rails, possibly 3, and have the 10 in the lower right corner. Oh no, hit it too thick. Yeah, that one just barely hit rail first going into the pocket, so ends up being a rattle. Maybe a little bit of a lifesaver here for Michal. Instead of this being 4-1, it could possibly be 3-2, so little things like this can correct the course of the game. Caught that really thin. I think thinner maybe than he wanted, but at least it dropped and he has a look on the 10, so boy, this does go on the side, but kind of a touchy shot here. Yeah, handled it well. All right, so Michal taking advantage of the error, the unforced error on that 9 in the upper left. Keeping this game close. It is a race to 9 win or break. All right, so both players breaking dead center in the table. I like to break from there as well. Really gets the rack pretty good spread. Oof, unfortunately a little too much power in that one. I think he was even kind of maybe angled down into the table a little too much. I mean, sometimes you do want that pop with the cue ball when you break, but a little too much downward force can cause that cue ball to pop a little off kilter. So that's what seemed to happen here. Now France is working with ball in hand. Curious if she rolls this with top right to just come on the other side of the 6. Then have the 2 on the side, and the 3 in the lower right. Oh, actually gonna just do left. Yeah, okay, no, she went by the 6. Missed, but not terrible. Not selling out the shot. I think Miha might try to just bank the 3 up by the 10-4, send the cue ball to the 6. Alright, ended up hitting it a little hard. I think he wanted to create more distance, but put those clusters there. Didn't really need to do too much. It's going to be pretty difficult to draw off of this 3 without scratching in the side pocket. You have to get some pretty good action here. Just because you are not hitting the 3. Wow, she actually did. Yeah, she got the action too, but Jaws caught it, held it up. So now Miha's going to have to do a little bit of a masse here around the 9 to just barely catch that 3. Yeah, just trying to find the right spot. It's a little touchy. Yeah, wasn't able to get enough spin. It needed to take a little bit more spin prior to hitting the rail. And really solid position here. Utilized ball in hand really well. And just come back and forth here. 8 in the lower right corner. Good speed. Came up a little straight, but that's fine. Just roll forward and take the 9 in the lower left corner. Kind of like drawing back on this one. Maybe with just a touch of lower right, so you can bring that cue ball back up table. But if not, looks like he's gonna go forward with it. Nice. Needs a little more action. Kind of fell 50-50, but just enough where it does favor the left, top left pocket. Fortunately, caught that one a little thick, but fortunately left this angle parallel, so not a gimme by any means here for Michal. Kind of sussing out what he wants to do here. The reverse bank is in play, but being on the rail like that, it's not the best shot to take on. So instead, going to play safety. Executed that pretty nice. Probably wanted to tend to just stick a little bit closer to the rail, but, you know, got the distance he wanted. Now Francis, yeah, I think I would take the bank on too, just because it is kind of a perfect V at the moment. Don't need to crush the bank either, just... Oh, she did hit it a little hard, but how is this deflection going to end up? Yeah, accidentally sold that one out. So went for the bank, came up empty-handed, and now Michal tying this game 3-3. Ten balls, definitely like a Stilton. Yeah, I could see that. It's nice Stilton cheese. If we have any members watching at the moment and are interested in playing a streamed match, go ahead and get a hold of me. You can email me, zach.oxbilliards@gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook. I'm sure you can find me there. Let me know if you're interested in playing. Stilton cheese is horrible, says Global Weather. Yeah, if you cheese a 10 ball and you don't call it, that is pretty horrible. Alright, so we made the 9 on the break. Doesn't have the best opening on this one, but pretty decent coverage with the 7 and the 5 being there, so he could just kind of hit this soft and roll the 1 down this long rail. Send the cue ball maybe between that second and first closest diamond on the top rail. Oh, he went for it. Alright, so Francis may be able to swerve. Not quite sure. Looks a little touchy. That's a pretty extreme swerve there, so I think the kick is the much better option. I would like to go 2 rails here if I were her, just so you aren't hitting the one too full in the face. Yeah, she went for the 2 rails. Caught it a little too wide, though. And then she ended up opening up that 5-7. So now the rack is looking much better. Yeah, I was going to swing those 2 rails to get back middle table. We went 3 rails, okay. Okay. Wow, look at this shot. It's a really good leave. Depending on what he wants to do here, the 3-8 combo is in play. Regardless, though, he is going to have to roll it forward, so... Ooh, nice. Played it with inside right to bring the angle back, but unfortunately that caught and just kept going. This Andy cloth plays a touch fast, so sometimes you think that on a normal table you just overhit and be good, but this one takes an extra roll or two. So he did the air peace sign just to see his tangent line. Now this one's going to hang up right in the side. This is interesting. Looks like she'll be able to just kind of squeeze by there, make the 3. Yeah. Little bumpy Johnson on that one. Bumped it out. 4 in the top right corner. Lead for the 5 is going to be a little interesting because she's going to have to kind of stun out, which will then send the cue ball left and then up towards that top rail. Able to get enough. Oh, that's nice. What a shot. Gonna be a little stretched on this one. May have to grab the bridge. Just draw this back just a hair. 6 in the lower left. Okay, stunned out. Nice. Don't want to be too cautious with that, especially when you're using the bridge. Just enough of a friendly bump to get vision on the 7. Nice job. So I think she's going to play this with just a touch of top left, so can roll the cue ball 2 rails to the top side of the 8 and send the 8 in the lower left corner. Actually, no, she's going to come straight across, looks like. She's putting bottom on it, so... Okay, yeah, nice. Navigated it pretty nice, but unfortunately missed the pot. But not giving the shot up, so still anyone's game to be the first one to 4. He's calling the top left corner. I think he's going to go 2 rails here. Kick the backside of the 7. Oh, yeah, caught it thin. Oh, woof. No way. Who could have calculated that? All right, so I think this is maybe the second or third time either of these players have had ball in hand late into the game. A good angle here. Enough to get good position on the 10. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, drew back a little too much. Kind of caught that 8 a little funky because the 8 did hit in the long rail first before going in. So this time, Francis not able to capitalize on Michal's mistake. He is the first one to 4. All right, so the odds, according to Fargo, have shifted pretty considerably. All right, so Michal here to break off rack number 8. Yeah, those of you in the chat just joining us, let us know who you think the winner is going to be of this game. And also, let me know what score line you think it'll be. I've had one guest earlier saying it's going to be 9-6 Francis. Hear any other predictions here? Let me know. All right, so 7 in the upper left. One ball is slightly blocked by the 9. If he wanted to be cheeky, he could potentially skim the 6 and make the 1 in the lower left corner, but that's kind of asking a lot. All right, Mark B in the chat asking about how much is the membership at Ox. The current rate, and don't quote me 100%, but the current rate is $200 for the year. There is a $300 security deposit, but you do get that deposit back at the end of your year, or you can renew. So the $200 gives you 24-hour access to the club. Mondays and Wednesdays are members only. During members' hours, it's $8 an hour for the table. However, anytime it is not open to the public, any other day of the week, so if you want to come on a Sunday morning, Saturday, late evening, 1 a.m. type deal, it'd still be the same rate, $8 an hour. You do get 20% off the public rate. Public rates do change a little bit. I believe on Friday night and Saturday night, they're a tad more expensive than on Thursday or Sunday. But you also get first access to events here at Ox Billiards. We do have pros come through and give coaching lessons. So you do get access to that. And there is a member party every now and then here. So yeah, it's a really good deal. I've been a member for 2 years now. You get to practice on world-class equipment. These Risson tables are just absolutely great to play on. Really sharpens your game. Also got 4 snooker tables here in-house. If you're interested in learning snooker, Mike Dominguez, the owner here, loves playing snooker. There's also a Chinese hay ball table, which is a combination of a snooker and pool table. Yeah, Mark, it's really great. If you're ever in the Seattle area, feel free to drop by and check it out. Tell him Zach Ross sent you. Yeah, the other benefit of being a member is if you do want coaching, you do have access to coaches, so we can hook you up with that info as well. So get all the finer details from Mike himself if you email mike@oxbilliards.com. Sure, he'd be more than glad to give you all the info you need. All right, so Francis looking for a safe here. I like this. There wasn't a ton of easy coverage, so just adding some distance. It's never a bad idea. I think with this many balls on the table, I like to kind of hedge my bets. You know, you don't have to be super aggressive if the line to the next 3 shots is not really in play. You can kind of take your time when it's not a super easy layout. It's a nice 3 make here from Michal, but he's going to have to jump just a hair of that 5 ball. Wonder if he's going to be able to do like a little bit of a jump stop here. Yeah, he almost did. Well, ended up making the 5. But, of course, it is 10 ball, so it's going to be player option here. And I don't think Francis will give this back. She could make a really thin cut on the 4, and then the cue ball would roll back up table and just barely clip that 9. Would have to be a friendly bump, though, so I still think she'll take it on. Oh, ended up avoiding the 9 altogether. What a hit. And the position. Nice. Alright, so she's going to swing those 2 rails. Or actually just go straight up and down 1 rail here. Alright, came up pretty steep on this one, but that's totally fine. She may even want to bump that 10 ever so slightly. Okay, navigated it nice. Alright, she is poised to tie this game up 4-4. Nice job. We've got ourselves a tie game. Yeah, global weather, your prediction is still in play here, so Kyle predicted 9-8 Francis as well, so two people in the chat rooting for Francis. Where are my Michal fans in the chat? Let me know. All right, Tara in the chat. Let's go, Michal. Caught that one so thin that he hit it, and then the cue ball hit the rail, and then it hit the one again, so that was a really hard shot, jacked up over the ball like that. Yeah. Excellent shot here, and good position from Francis. All right, so I think she actually leave this go between the 3-7 here. 3 in the lower left corner. Nice shot. Gonna need a little bit of an angle, which she got, so yeah, just gonna have to make sure that the cue ball hits just over the right side of that middle diamond to get backup table for that 4. Oh no, she miscued. Miscue and not really giving a look here. Yeah, he's seeing if he can jump. Yeah, the kick is the safer option here. I think I might actually just go 2 rails, but he is going to kick it to go for the 3 in the corner. No, 2 rails, nice. Yeah, it's a smart choice. If he's able to go 2 rails and kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like stop it off of that second rail. Cue ball just had a little too much action on it. Looks like the 3 might barely go by the 4 in the top left. Oh, caught the 3 on the top side. Gonna get a pretty fortunate roll here, though. Looks like he does have barely enough of a window. Don't know if he has enough of a window to cut the 3 into the 8. But yeah, the three bank is definitely in play. Doesn't want to do a stop shot here, only because you will be stuck behind the 10, so either needs to roll forward a little bit or draw back pretty hard. That one got away just a little bit, but I think Francis can go for this and really let her stroke out, bring this cue ball 3 rails for the 4. But nope, opts for the safe. I think both these players are being pretty cautious about selling the rack out, so don't want to give any easy runouts. Alright, so Michal going in the right side pocket. Just going to send this cue ball up to the top rail and about mid-table back for the 4. Nice shot. Alright, so he's just going to roll this up 2 rails. Bring that cue ball probably to the upper quarter, upper third part of the table. Give himself a nice angle on that 5 on the side. This one's a tad awkward, but looks like he can stun it out a tad for the 7 in the lower left. Nice shot. Do the same thing here, just play off that rail ever so slightly. If he doesn't quite get the angle he needs, he can always play the 8 in the upper left. It's always good to have options. Yep, got the perfect angle he needs for the 8 in the side. So, if I were him, probably just roll this up to the middle diamond, pretty much where that line is going right across the table. But you can play off the top rail to get that position. Oh boy, nope. Overran it a touch, but no worries. Still able to find the line for the 10. Just going to play this with some left spin to make sure he gets over there. Good control. Good 1-2 bounce. All right, Michal making this 5-4. Got ourselves a pretty exciting match here. Thank you all for joining this Wednesday evening. I was also curious that for all of you that own a jump cue, let me know what jump cue you use and why you like it. I use a Predator Air 2. I do really like it. But I also am not super familiar with other jump cues, so I don't know how they play. But if you use one regularly, let me know which one, and if you recommend it. All right, so Michal's breaks have been kind of all over the place. He sent the cue ball off the table once. Another break didn't quite have an opener, so interested to see how he changes his break. It does look like he had way less angle dipping into the table on that one. And while he did get a pretty decent spread, it was dry, so yeah, the 10-ball rack can be a little bit finicky. Hey, Chad Raswick in the chat. Hey, Chad, how are you? Nothing jumps like a Honshu custom jump. All right. Have to check that one out. This will be a good safety if she can get around. Not quite. The Air Rush 2 is a break jump combo. No, so I have the Predator Air 2. The Rush might be a slightly different model, but the Predator Air 2 is just a jump cue. It's not a break jump combination. Yeah. Alex says he poorly uses the Air Rush himself. Oh, no, don't worry. I have an Air 2 and I like it, but I also tend to use it pretty poorly, so... Alright, so Michal jacked up over the 7 just a bit, but has enough of the cue ball to be able to pot the 1. Oh, I spoke too soon. Caught it a little thick. Okay, yeah, thanks for clarifying, Chad. The BK Rush is the break combo. The jump break combo, rather. Yeah, I also have the McDermott Stinger, which is a break jump combo stick as well. But since I have the Air 2, that's kind of the one I just use. Just like the feel of it a little bit better. It's weighted a bit more comfortably. What an incredible shot. And she might actually get a look on this too. Look at that. I think that's the shot of the match so far. Incredible leave. Alright, so she's going to have to bump either the 10 or the 4 out. Just based on the angle here. Unless you find the tiniest window. Oh my goodness. And then you clip the jaw, which corrects the spin and sends it upward. Man, this game has had everything so far. Nonetheless, going to take on this thin 3. Oh, over thinned it and caught it on the backside off of the rail. So unforced error here from Francis, bringing Michal back to the table. 3 doesn't quite go in the left corner. Or if it does, it goes barely. So I would take the upper right, which would also give you pretty good position for that 4. Go 2 rails with the cue. And play this with some running English. Nice shot. Gonna hit a 3rd rail here. Good angle to stun out. Leave yourself for the 5. He's had a few rattlers this game. Just not hitting the pocket as pure as he would hope. So Francis now with the opportunity to run this out and make it a tied game. I think she can just do a little bit of a drawback here. Bring the cue just about center table. I think she can put some left on this and... Oh, no. Looks like she's going to draw back. Nope, never mind, going back. Yeah. 1 rail out. Nice shot. A little bit stuck on the rail, but not too much of a bother. This one she came up a little straight and is actually falling into the pocket line, so yeah, navigated that really well. Alright, so it just needs to stun out here. Take the 10 in the same lower right pocket. Put a little more oomph on it just to make sure she would clear the side rails. Don't want to get stuck on the last shot. Even though it was a bit more distance. Pretty straightforward. Takes that rack. Ties the game 5-5. Alright, so we've only had one break and run so far. Time is running out, folks. Will there be another one? Yeah, so Frances actually broke that a little bit softer than she had previously. Maybe just wanted a little bit more cue ball control. Unfortunately, when you break softer, the rack doesn't spread quite as much, so don't have as many balls headed towards pockets. But on the flip side, not the easiest of runouts here, so I feel like when you break softer in 10 ball, you're kind of playing a two-way, if that makes sense. It's almost like a safety break. But good safety shot here from Michal. I think Frances can get this going 2 rails on the bottom rail here. Or maybe more comfortable going up table, just because the sight line is a bit more clear going this way. Didn't quite get enough spin and found the window between the 1 and the 9. Are you kidding? Oh, did the 1? No. Okay. I was like, maybe the 1 moved a little bit. No, it did not. So Michal here could potentially go for the 3 foul, but don't think he's going to. Would have been kind of interesting to see him send the 1 down and then kind of put the cue ball into the cluster of the 5-8-9, just kind of lock it in there, but maybe he'll have another opportunity to do that once he takes the 2-3-4. But for now, just needs to roll this forward. Or he's gonna draw back. I see it now. Okay. Draw back for the 3 on the side. Yeah, really curious to see what he does with the 5. Kind of try to force the angle. Bed not made, saying sweatpants the new pool meta. Yeah. Yeah, it's the athleisure wear. Yep. Jerseys and athleisure wear. For sure. Pool jerseys have been looking pretty slick, though. If any of you own one, let me know. I do have an Ox Billiards one that is pretty sweet. If you want to dig through the archives, one of the first streamed matches we had of this program, I was playing, wearing my Ox jersey. It's pretty comfortable. Also looks pretty sharp, so. Alright, Michal gonna jump the 4. Excellent shot. Don't scratch. Good. Gosh, I hate seeing players make a really great shot and then just not get rewarded. So, this is not the worst outcome. Might actually be able to just send the 5 into the 9-7 and send the cue ball to the right. Okay, now slippers, that's a step too far for playing pool, you know? Shoes, please. Yeah, I can't wait for someone to win a title wearing like Crocs and sweatpants and like an Adidas joggers jacket. All right, well, this is the absolute best outcome you could get, but yeah, a little wave of the hand acknowledging that it was a lucky happenstance on that leave. Is that Eddie Mattia? Eddie Mateo? Mattia? Oh. It's Eddie Mattia. I am familiar with him, and he can do whatever he wants. I believe several months ago there was a pretty high break and run pot over at Stimpy's, and Eddie Mattia won the break pot. Pretty significant amount of money. Yeah, Mattia, yeah. Great shooter. Oh, so the ball in hand here for Michal. Oh, don't get stuck to the rail. All right, there you go. Oh, wow, yeah, nice. I think I only caught the video of it. And by this time someone pulled out a camera, he was on like the 8, 9, 10 or something, so. Yeah, geez, yes. 7K, that's wild. For a break pot. All right, getting position on the 8 here is going to be a little touchy. He could try to run it with inside left and go like 2 rails back and forth, but I think he's just going to go the 2 rails back and forth standard and take the sharper cut on the 8. That actually worked out pretty good, but unfortunately did not make the 7. Giving a bit of a challenge here for Francis. Because while she can make the 7 in the upper left, leaving the cue ball the decent angle on the 8 is going to be a little touchy. I think this might be the one time you can actually baby the shot, you know? I don't particularly suggest that often, but you can slow roll this one and maintain a decent... Okay, oof. Almost ran past a little too far, but she does have a look on the 8. This being off the rail, the cut is going to be a little more of a challenge, but she took it on and nailed it. What a shot. Big bounce. And just a little bit of a stop shot here. Set herself up primo for that 10 on the left side. All right, so Frances now in the lead. First time she's been in the lead in a moment. 6-5, and now the odds and the Fargo rate percentage have flipped back in her favor pretty significantly. Thank you all for joining this evening. My name is Zach Ross. I am the Q Sports communicator here at Ox Billiards. Putting on these streams for y'all's enjoyment. Do not know if there's anything in the middle. I do think these players tend to put up a little action, but I am not always privy to it. All right, so yeah, she broke harder that time, and this rack is really nicely spread, but dry it again. So both these players kind of struggling on the break last 2 or 3 racks here. Struggling to pot a ball at least. And holding for this 2 is going to be pretty touchy. He is going to want to go 2 rails then. I think if you hit this with bottom left, kind of spin it out, maybe get back a middle-ish table. Okay, decides to safe. I like this. There wasn't a very obvious leave on the 2. If you did go for the 1, you might have lost the cue ball a little bit. Oh, Chad, that's a different Zach, but if I ever run into someone named Sherry, I will say hi. Yeah. A lot of Zachs floating around. But I am not he. I would actually like to go to Derby City at some point. But I actually just read that the Derby City spots are like pretty much completely full already. Saw Raymond Linares posting about it, how he was not able to get a spot. So very popular tournament. Nice jump here from Michal. Is he going to get rewarded for his efforts? Yes, indeed. Looks like that 3's blocking the 1, so Frances will have to kick at the top rail to get a piece of it. Okay, gonna go 2 rails. Oh, nice hit. Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting Nick DeLeon and Raymond Linares here, actually, at the Seattle 9-Ball Open I had Nick in the booth here with me for a Sam Henderson match. All right, really good safety here from Michal. Nick DeLeon, a.k.a. the Nikon Kid. Yeah, it's kind of wild how quickly those spots filled up. But it is a testament to the growth of this sport, which I absolutely love to see. All right, so let's take a look and see if this ball's frozen. It is not. So I imagine he plays safe here. Maybe just sends the one below the 9-3. Doesn't need to hit this too hard. Oh, he missed it completely. Oh no. Well, luckily for him, every ball is still on the table, so it's not a late game mistake. But it could end up proving costly if Francis can find a good line from the 2 to the 3. Is anyone in the chat playing at the Scotch Doubles Toy Drive on Saturday? Let me know, because I will be down there. I'm playing with Gus Targonski. Should be a really fun event. I've heard really great things about it. It'll be my first time going. A lot of tough competition, but should also be fun. It's good for a good cause. Great shot on the 3. Bumped that 8 out to get a position for the 4. Think she can draw back just a hair. 2 to 3 inches or so. Get a line for that 5 in the lower right. Actually may just want to draw a little bit harder just for insurance. Oh, interesting. One with the stun. Okay. Getting on the lower side of the 5. Looks like it does go on the top right or the top, well, obviously the top left. Alright, so Michal just needs to focus on pocketing this ball. Kind of get natural-ish position for the 5. Rolls out a little more. I think he's going to have a piece of it, but not quite the full ball that he wanted. So may have to do a little bit of a masse here, just a touch of swerve. Oh, nice shot. No. Jeez. Yeah, he's fallen slightly out of position. Gonna go airborne here. Alright, looks like Michal uses the rush jump cue. No, unfortunately caught that 8. This is kind of a later rack mistake here. Don't think we've had a 2-game separation here. So Francis has an opportunity to do that. There's not really any problems getting from connecting the dots here, you know. Just draw this back a little bit, or you can roll forward. Whatever you fancy. With the rolling forward, though, got a little too much. Gonna have to settle for the bank. Alright, so even though Michal scratched, Francis potentially sold this rack back to Michal. I think if I were him, I would swing this 3 rails. Kind of let your stroke out here. Go 9 in the lower right corner. Almost caught that side pocket, but got the position he needed. Alright, so I'm going to just draw this back into the left rail here. Yeah, nice shot. Good execution, good leave. Alright, so Michal tying this game up 6-6. Got a real nail biter here. One prediction may be bunk if Michal wins this rack. We've had one prediction say 9-6 Francis. I've had another one say 9-8 Francis. All right, we are going to take a very short player break here. Be back in just one moment. All right, folks, thank you for your patience. All three of us had to go for a quick restroom break. That's how it be when the match is long, so thank you all for staying tuned and sticking with us this evening, sweating this action. Again, my name is Zach Ross. We are live here at Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington. And Tara, you are still in the chat. Michal says hello. Yeah, I like the break adjustment Michal has made. Unfortunately, just not finding a pocket. It's going to be proving a really good safety here. Really nice touch. Those are the types of safeties that I'm trying to learn myself. Obviously a higher success rate when you've got more balls on the table, but if you can land that often, games will swing in your favor. All right, really good swerve on that cue to make contact with the 1. Now, Francis may be able to navigate that little off-kilter window between the 2 and 3. Nice hit, but unfriendly bumps there. So I think Michal may be able to back cut this 1. No, he's gonna, I think he might be going safe. No, he's gonna take it on. And that cue ball will bump with a 10. Okay, some friendly bumps here. Send the 2 in the upper left corner. Bring the cue ball across the center line. You have to be pretty careful though. Doesn't want to end up on the back side of that 10 ball. I landed a little straight on it, but now he's got options. 3 goes into either bottom pocket. There's a pretty decent safety opportunity here too if he just wants to bank that 3 up and then send the cue behind the 5-8, but I think he's going to be on the offensive here. No, wait, he's actually doing what I said? Oh, man. But he hit it too hard. Sometimes I call it right, you know? Yeah, he was pointing towards that. He wanted to leave the 3 on the upper side of the table. But he needed to get the cue ball over there, so it's kind of a touchy shot. He didn't completely sell out because Francis does need to send this cue ball towards the side pocket to get a better look on the 4. Which he did. Use the 8 as a friendly stopper. actually clears out the problem for the 5 because that 5 was not going to have the best angle for that lower right. I think it still would have gone, but she would have had to have been a bit more precise on the position. All right, sniped that one pretty well. Going to do almost the same thing here with the 5. Just bring this cue ball out to about quarter of the right side of the table. This one's a little trickier. Went forward with it. If she gets on the far left of this 8, ooh, doesn't quite have a full enough ball to send the 7 in the upper left corner, so gonna need to think of a safety here. I think maybe banking the 7. Oh, she's gonna go top right corner. Okay. Yeah, there's thin enough hit to make that. It's just so thin. Ran it up pretty well. Ooh, used the 9, I think unintentionally, but nonetheless made the shot. Now, Frances will be going airborne here. As long as she hits this 8 pretty square on the face, just a hair to the right side of the center of the 8 ball. Don't really see a scratch, and the cue ball will be moving for the line on the 9, so pretty good chance here for Frances to go up 7-6. Obviously not an easy jump, but wow. Almost executed it. But because of that rattle, this is fairly straightforward run out here. Could have got a little bit closer to his work, but no worries, as this 10 is pretty much hanging over the pocket. At least in terms of a good leave that you want. Alright, so Michal taking the lead back. Curious to know, anyone in the chat, let me know who your top 3 favorite pros are, male or female. I think for me, I really enjoy watching Naoki Oi. Kind of like his style. Not always winning stuff, but he's got a cool approach to the table. All right, so another dry break. Breaks were going pretty well in the first half of this game, but kind of have fizzled out here in the later half. It's a good safety here from Francis. He's going to force Michal to kick at the top rail. All right, so he is calling the side pocket. It's a good call. You catch that one thin, which you're kind of likely to do when you spin up to this top rail. Oh, he didn't have enough spin on that at all. Interesting. That went really straight. All right, Francis with ball in hand here. Gonna roll this up. Wants to get fairly straight on the 2. Not exactly straight, but yeah, kind of like this, just so she can draw off the rail ever so slightly for the 3 in the left side pocket. Now she can kind of stun this one out and have the 4 in the upper left. Or if she wants to let her stroke out, just play a little bit of top right, go to the top rail and back. Ooh, ended up bumping the 4. Gonna have to opt for a safety here. Oh no, had enough for the reverse bank. Nice, nice shot. Camera angle deceiving again. Alright, this time for real though. I think it's gonna have to be a save. Could possibly kick this into the bottom right corner. Oh no, it's gonna hit the, oh no, pocket scratch. It was a really unfortunate outcome. Alright, so Michal just going to go 1 rail to get up table for the 6. And then he just needs to swing the cue ball underneath the 9 to get a look at the 8. But 1 shot at a time. Yeah, just trying to find his line from the 7 to the 8. He may be bumping the 9 just a bit. He may be able to put enough left spin on this to avoid the 9, but he might also just clip it slightly coming out. Yeah, nice. Navigated it well. So I like to roll this one forward, just because you don't have to be So if you stop shot this, you could inadvertently draw back a little bit too much. If you roll it forward, you are going to clear the 10. And you get a better position. Oh no, he did bump the 10. Oh boy. Well, lesson learned for myself. I would have taken the same shot and probably would have bumped the 10 too, so maybe that little stun out was the better option. Mark B saying, I've always liked watching Allison Fisher. Yeah, Allison Fisher's fantastic. I agree, not quite in her prime anymore, but her fundamentals are definitely something to aspire to. I agree. She's actually been through Ox Billiards a few times. There's something that we have here in the Northwest called the Northwest Cup. It's played between Washington and Oregon State. And Allison Fisher has been a commentator for that event on several occasions. Alright, so safety has gone awry here, giving Francis a 9-10 combination. And there it is, tying this game up 7-7. Mark B also mentioning Fedor and Skylar. Two great picks. Yeah, Fedor, as everyone says, is probably the best jumper in the game, so if you ever want to learn a thing or two about your jumping abilities, definitely check out Fedor Gorst. Some of the jumps he pulls out with how much distance the cue ball has in front of the ball he's trying to get over. It's super impressive. Hey, Shu Chang in the chat, race to 2. Let's go. Yes, let's go indeed. What a great match this has been. Alright, so Francis took off a lot of zest. Minimal zest on that break. And because of that, another dry break. Alright, so Michal has a chance to cut this in the upper right corner. Oh, he's going... Interesting. He's going upper left. So the only reason I initially thought to go upper right was because you hit that one thin enough, your cue ball would actually bump that 2 out. So it would kind of act as a blocker, but the potential for like a double kiss and kind of having the 2 go towards the corner pocket would have been in play. But this isn't a terrible miss because Francis barely has an edge on the 1, which may not be pocketable. Hard to tell from here. Yeah, I wasn't able to squeeze in between the 2. Looks like Michal is going to have to go rail first to make contact with this 1. Whoa, okay, he was actually... See, these cameras, man. They always deceive me Anyway, saw the one, rattled it out. So now Francis is going to call the 2. Or it might just take the 1. There was a similar shot earlier in the rack, or in this game, where it made sense to clip the side ball and call that, but in this instance, appears not. So she's trying to, see if she can find the window between the 7-10 and play safe on that 3. And she found it. So now just needs to send the 3 on the other side of the 4. This is going to be a little touchy. But if she can pull this safe out, may give her a slight advantage in this rack. Yep, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Michal is probably going to kick this to the top rail. I would call the 8 in the corner here. Well, kind of miscalculated that one, but because he hit the 4, has now tied that up, sort of preventing a run-out chance here. Unless, of course, Francis can break this out. James calling out the hill here. Going to be deja vu for him. His match last week did go hill. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe. If you're enjoying the content, ring that bell to be notified when we go live. This will be the last match of the month. Streaming here. I will be returning in January for another match. It is in the works, but I don't want to say it yet. It is TBD. Mark asking about the short rail. I think it may have just been slightly too much traffic. Do you mean the short rail closest to us, where the score is? And so Michal just called bottom right corner. Yeah, long rail. I think there might have been just a hair too much traffic going that way. I think going up and down was the right call, but he must have put spin on it or something because it immediately hooked left when it hit that top short rail, so not too sure. Francis draw this out 2 rails. Oh boy. Oh no, in the drink. So I'm rewinding the tape just a little bit, Mark, and yeah, you're right, actually. He could have actually just gone between the 10 and the 5 to kick the 3, but, Anywho. He's going to overrun this. ran it, but at least he didn't safety himself. He's looking to see if he can overcut it, but I kind of like the bank in the side pocket here. Because if you miss, you can kind of do like a stop shot and leave the cue in play for the 8. But maybe he just wants to be a little more careful here since this is the end game. They opted for a safety, but it leaked out. Still not a gimme, but definitely makeable in the top left. So Francis can come up with a pretty big shot here. Could be the favorite to win this rack. Nice shot. Alright, so now she has to just stop shot this. Maybe bring it up table just a hair. There, and draw this back, and the 10 is hers. Possibly getting to the hill first. A little bit of a rattle. But here we are. Pretty great position. Gonna have to use the bridge. Alright, so Francis reaches the hill first. This has been a super close match, folks. Thank you all for tuning in, spending your Wednesday evening with me, or Thursday morning. Yeah, that 9 said, I've been out in the mud all day. I need to wipe my feet off here. That's funny, Shu Cheng. A little swish, swish, swish. All right, so let's see if she sticks with the soft break or potentially her last break here. So maybe hit a little harder. Oh no. No. Gosh, well, that break, God, that break was actually successful too. But the scratch, bringing Michal to the table. Mark B asking, are these live broadcasts weekly? So I tend to do these twice a month. It's kind of the formula I've been running with at the moment, but they do occur on Wednesdays. So if you hit the like and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube, they do happen on Wednesdays. So, well, I suppose if you are, I should say they happen on Wednesdays in Seattle, Washington in the evening. So if you are somewhere else in the world, you can figure out the time chart accordingly. Yeah, so this is basically a twice a month stream showcasing the members here at Ox Billiards and friends of members. So if you are interested and in the Seattle, Washington area, you want to be on stream, get a membership. That will put you in prime position to be showcased. So Michal really digging in, knows he needs to take advantage of this opportunity. This one's kind of touchy, because if he rolls it forward, it's going to have deja vu where he bumped that 10 in front of the 9 last 2 racks ago. Okay, I was able to navigate it well. Now he's pretty much guaranteed to bump the 10 here. But if he hits it with a little bit of right spin, he'll get good position for the 9 and not send the 10 too far away. Okay, yeah, got that friendly bump that he needed. So Michal here, close to completing a table run after Francis scratched on the break. Hey, Ken Clifford in the chat, good to see you again. Thanks for tuning into these streams. All right, Michal flirting with that side pocket. But he ends up in a pretty good line. All right, and with that, folks, it is a hill game. I think we had a couple people predict the hill. It's the moment y'all have been waiting for. Since we started this stream, this game has been back and forth. Always love to see a good hill thriller. They are playing golden 10 ball, so if that happens, boy, would that be a finish. Nope, 10 ball did not move at all. It's not even going to move from other balls kissing. That's funny. All right, good. We've got a solid rack to play with. In fact, no balls dropped, so Francis will push here, and I believe this will be the first push of the match. Yeah, players definitely getting their money's worth. Hill is the way to go. Maybe not for the players, but for us fans here enjoying the action, sweating it. Definitely like to see close games. really feels like anything can happen. All right, so Michal going to take on this one. But where will the cue ball go? You can clear it. Didn't quite get the speed he needed. May actually be able to see a piece of the two. He is going to have to hit it with a little bit of bottom just to avoid scratching in the side pocket. Yeah, the last thing you want to do here is give ball in hand, so definitely understand his caution with this approach. Oh, what a leave. Yeah, he looked for that window and he executed it to perfection. So Francis has a chance to kind of double jump. Clear two balls here. I guess it's more like 3/4 of the 3 and maybe 1/4 of that 6. Calling the 2 in the lower left corner. Really friendly outcome here for Francis. Michal seeing if he can get out at 2 rails going to the right. I think he might be able to, but he's going to have to put bottom left on it to kind of sharpen that angle. So when he hits that top rail, you'll actually be able to hit the 2 a little bit fuller. Kind of a finicky cut here. Hey, Christian in the chat. Isn't it past your bedtime on the East Coast? Welcome. Way to sweat this action with us here. Do have one viewer that is watching from the UK in the morning, so if anyone's in the chat and it's an afternoon for you, let us know. Most of us here in the late evening, wee early mornings of Thursday. It's always one more rack. Just one more rack. But in this case, literally. Oh, interesting. I saw what he was doing, but that was always going to be a little touchy. All right, so Francis, kind of the queen of running out with a table run, especially with the ball in hand here. There was a U.S. amateur preliminary match that happened here between her and Bejoy Bordaloy, and she got ball in hand. Table ran it for the win to get qualified for the U.S. Amateur Championship. So let's see if she can do it again. I spoke too soon, but the unintended safety here. It's what I like to call a good miss. Hey, Kapil in the chat, good to see you. When you're back in the States, hit me up. Let's get some racks in. Alright, so Michal gonna have to 2-rail kick this. Oh, he went for 1. So now Michal is on 2 fouls. And they are playing 3 foul rule. So Francis could try to be cheeky here and win the hill match with a 3 foul. Wouldn't that be something? I don't think I've ever seen somebody lose a match to a 3 foul. But surely it has happened. All right, James called it hill when it was 4-4. I think Kyle also said that Francis was going to win 9-8. So both of you pretty on point with the predictions here. Unfortunately, our UK friend called a 6-9, and that has passed. All right, so Francis is going to roll this up to the rail and leave the 7 bottom right corner. Oh, no, okay, looks like the 7 goes by the 10. Excuse me. All right, so now she can just stop shot this. Draw it back just for extra measure, just to make sure you get on that line. All right, well, Francis deciding to run this out much better than winning via 3 foul, in my opinion. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Well, not the easiest leave, but what an unfortunate turn of events. All right, so Michal just focusing in. And taking the win after a fluke 9, leaving the open shot for Michal. Wow, what a way to end that one. Really incredible game from both players. Really exciting to watch. Thank you all for joining. If you enjoy the content, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of when we go live. These types of matches happen on Wednesdays, twice a month. My name is Zach Ross. Thanks again for joining. Y'all have a wonderful evening or day, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, and take care.